Welcome, creative adventurers. I'm Debbie Cohn with D. Cohn Designs. Thank you for stopping by today. Today's video is one in a series about quilting on a budget. Today's topic will be all about fabric. In today's video, I'm going to give you 6 guiding parameters to keep in mind when you're purchasing or obtaining your fabric for quilting. Next, I'll give you 7 tips for finding the fabric that you want and love. Stay tuned until the end and I'll give you 3 more tips about what to do with all of your fabric. Let's get started. It's all about quilting on a budget with fabric. Before I get into my guiding parameters, my biggest tip of all is to keep an open mind. Don't let well-meaning but naysaying quilt police or quilt fabric snobs tell you that you must have 100% top quality quilting cotton at all times for every single project. Some of us are on a budget and we'd go bankrupt if we did that. I'm going to give you 6 guiding parameters for helping you when you obtain your fabric for all your quilty projects. My first guiding parameter is to only purchase what you need for the project you have in mind. That will keep you from overbuying for sure. It's hard to resist getting that beautiful fabric. You don't know what to do with it, but it sure is gorgeous. But hold off, resist. Start with the project you have in mind and then purchase only what you need. My second guiding parameter is to match the fabric type with the project. If it's a special gift, an heirloom type quilt, you might want to invest in top quality quilting cotton. But if it's going to be a utility quilt, a picnic quilt, or maybe a baby quilt that you hope the child will drag around lovingly for years, maybe you want a sturdy fabric, but it doesn't have to be that top quality quilting cotton. There's lots of other choices out there that will do just as well for that type of project. Perhaps it's a seasonal quilt that you'll only have out periodically. You might want to use novelty fabric at your local big box store, not necessarily investing in top quality fabrics. It's up to you. My next guiding parameter is to only buy what you or the recipient will love. Don't buy fabric just because you have the lure of the sale or the discount. In the end, it might get put aside for something else and you won't have the joy that you want when you're sewing with it. So only buy what you love or what you know the recipient will love. My fourth guiding parameter to remember is that yardage is almost always less expensive, no matter where you purchase it from, than kits or pre-cuts of any kind. You'll want to weigh the convenience versus the extra cost when deciding whether to purchase yardage or pre-cuts of any sort. Along those same lines, my 5th guiding parameter is to know the retail price of yardage and pre-cuts in your area. For example, in my area, most local quilt shops sell designer level quilting fabric for between $12 and $14 a yard right now. A typical layer cake online averages $35 to $45 or even more. A charm pack runs between $8 and about $12 a piece. And a fat quarter bundle can run anywhere from $30 to well over $100, depending on the number of fat quarters in the bundle. Once you know the average retail price in your area, then you can set a limit on what your upper limit is that you're willing to spend for the convenience of a pre-cut. That way, if pre-cuts go on sale, then you'll know whether it's a really good value or not. My last guiding parameter is to keep your storage space in mind. You might have an entire sewing room at your disposal for quilting and storage. That's wonderful. Or you might have just a small IKEA bookcase or a shelf in a hall closet for your storage. So keep in mind the volume and the access that you'll have to your storage for your fabrics. Let's move on to my 7 tips for finding the fabric you want for the project you have in mind. My first tip is to let everyone know that if they're looking for a gift for you for birthday or Christmas, any other holiday, anniversary, that you'd like a gift card to your favorite local quilt shop or your favorite online quilt shop. That will certainly stretch your fabric dollars. My second tip is full of common sense ideas. If you're looking for fabric on a budget, of course you'll want to shop the sales both in person and online. You'll want to look for coupons online, in person, sign up for those newsletters by designers and fabric shops both in person and online. You'll get discount codes in newsletters, so be sure to do that. Monthly fabric clubs to see if that is worth it in your budget. And don't forget to walk to the back of your favorite online quilt store to the clearance section or the discontinued section. Or if you're shopping online, don't forget to check the clearance section or the going, gone area of the shop. My next few tips are where I'd like for you to keep an open mind. My third one is to shop your discount stores and your big box stores. Stores like Joann's or Hobby Lobby or Walmart or even the dollar store all carry fabric. Some of it is very good quality. Some of it is good enough for a project that you might have in mind that doesn't need top quality fabric. So keep an open mind there as well. And again, those stores also have coupons and discounts and sales as well. Again, this is where knowing the current retail price of fabric really comes in handy. That way you'll know if you're getting a true bargain or not, and you'll know the quality of the fabric and know the project you have in mind. Then you can make an informed decision about whether this is the best purchase for you. My fourth tip is to consider buying a bolt of fabric. If it's a favorite of yours, an essential that you use a lot, or maybe splitting a bolt price with your friend. And that way you can have what you need, and it will be considerably less than full retail if you're able to buy it, either buy the bolt or split a bolt with someone. Next are some non-retail options, of course. Shop those thrift shops, estate sales, yard sales. If you belong to a guild, check their freebie table. Trade with your friends in the guild or friends that you sew with. You might consider bartering fabric for something else as well. And along those same lines, consider accepting donations. Once the word gets out that you're a quilter, sometimes you'll have people say, "Oh, I've got fabric, would you like this?" Keep an open mind. You might consider saying yes, look through it, pick out what's going to work for you and your situation, and then pass the rest of it along to the guild or to some other quilty friend who'd love to have it. If you're not sure, you can always donate it to a thrift shop where some other quilter will be happy to pick it up at a discount price. My sixth tip is to recycle or reuse items. So this one is pretty intuitive as well. Look through your closet, your family's closet. Think about those no longer worn but gently used shirts and pants. Think about the sheets and the curtains and the old tablecloths that you never use anymore. Some of that might be just what you need for your next quilting project. Don't forget vintage fabric and items that you might acquire from an elderly family member or an antique shop as well. Sheets and blankets are also an inexpensive way to find fabric for backing for quilts and for batting for quilts. Keep those in mind. Last but not least, shop your stash. I suggest you try to challenge yourself to use what you have in your stash before you purchase additional fabric, especially if you're on a budget. Don't be afraid to combine fabrics from different designer lines and different fabric styles, colors, and categories to help fill out what you need for a project before you go to purchase it. Shopping your stash is a great way to extend your fabric dollars. Once you begin to quilt, the lure of the beautiful fabric and the fun of finding just the right fabric for your projects will slowly reel you in. Eventually you'll find you've accumulated a lot of fabric and you're not sure what to do. I've got 3 tips for you to help you with managing your stash. First, I suggest that you have a system for what to do with your leftover fabric pieces from your quilts and other projects, and what you're going to do with the tiny bits and detritus left over. Think about what is the smallest size of scraps that you're willing to keep. What are you going to do with the rest that you're not keeping? Will you donate them? Will you throw them away? Will you save them in case you have a future project that might use them? Think about that and have a system in place so you can take care of it as you finish your projects. My second recommendation after you've begun to acquire a bit of a stash is to consider tracking and inventorying your fabric periodically. That way you'll know what you have and you don't accidentally buy more of something because you forgot you had it. I've been there, done that. So you might want to list your yardage, your backing fabrics, what you have in batting, and your pre-cuts. That way you won't accidentally overbuy. My last recommendation for what to do once you've begun to accumulate a stash is to go through it periodically and cull the fabrics that you don't feel like you're going to use anymore. You could rehome them, you could donate them, you could throw them away if they're little bits, whatever isn't going to work for where you are right now in your quilting journey or in the near future, say in the next year or so, you should consider rehoming it or donating it. If you don't feel like you should donate it or rehome it right now, then consider making some STASHBUSTER quilts that you could donate to your favorite charity to help whittle down that Mount Scrapmore. If you're looking for ideas for a STASHBUSTER quilt, my unsolicited suggestion is to check out Karen Brown of Just Get It Done Quilts. She has several YouTube videos with wonderful STASHBUSTER quilt ideas. And that's what I have for you today. 3 guiding parameters for how to purchase fabric, 7 tips for finding fabric, whether it's retail, non-retail, donations, or recycled fabrics, and 3 recommendations for what to do when your stash begins to build up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please look for more videos in my new series, Quilting on a Budget. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and tell a friend. Then head on over to my blog at dconedesigns.com, where you'll find a couple of patterns for your personal use. Soon to come, I'll have quilt patterns of my own design for sale, so look for that coming soon too. Just a note for those who are interested, the quilt behind me was my Socialites sampler quilt that I did a couple of years ago through the Fat Quarter Shop. Please let me know in the comments section, what are your tips and recommendations for quilting on a budget with fabric? I'd love to know, and we can all share some more ideas. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.